It's me. Hi. I'm the problem, it's me. At tea time, everybody agrees. I'll stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror. It must be exhausting, always rooting for the anti-hero. Hello humans, hi. Hello and hi folks, it's Lev. For those of you who are new, I use he and pronouns. I started singing at the start of the video because spontaneity, and it's good to throw a little bit of spontaneity in here and there because I feel very stuck in routine and I just want to change things up ever so slightly and just experiment with new things. And I do like singing for fun. I'm not very good at it necessarily, but I like doing it for fun. And this video, I don't really have a title for it until I put the video together at the end and figure out what the title is best. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to be talking about because I just have an experience, and that experience has prompted a bunch of ideas, and it's sort of a brain dump based on that experience. And that's the experience of going down a pitch black water slide. And yeah, I just want to record my thoughts and stuff and put it all together at the end. So recently I went to a pool and there was two water slides, and I haven't been on a water slide in like a indoor swimming pool in a very long time. And I didn't really know what to expect of this water slide. But it was quite tall. Climbed a bunch of stairs, and I did not know that it was going to be pitch black. Like, it was completely dark in there the whole time. Well, there were a few we did like throughout the water slide, there were a few like ever so slight dim light circles, like tiny circles to let like ever so slight bit of light in. But still could not see anything. It was like minimal amount of light, basically pitch darkness, and just going down the water slide. And I like that because it was novelty. And then I went on that 3 more times in a row. After which I started feeling a bit, I don't know, dizzy is the right word. It's just my brain's already like, nope, stop now before you get another concussion. Yeah, and then that's just like prompted me to think about life things and how sometimes once I slid down like from the top, just boosted into the water slide, there was no turning back. There was no pausing. There was no going back up the water slide. It just followed the momentum. Like once I went, I just followed the momentum, looped in the darkness all the way around, and my head was empty at the time. It's like, I didn't think much besides this is so cool the first time I went on it. It's just, my head was empty. I consciously wasn't processing emotions at the time. It's more I just existed in sliding down the water slide. It was just existing while sliding down this pitch black water slide and just following the momentum and just letting it take me wherever the course was, and I had no control over it. It's like sometimes life throws curveballs at us, and we don't know what to expect, but it happens. Like, we could lose a job, we could lose a relationship, we could lose someone we love. I don't know, we get diagnosed with a certain illness or medical condition that's unexpected, or in my case, a really, a curveball, for lack of better words, is I'm seeing a physiotherapist for my knee injury from an ice skating accident back in 2019, which it's just constant on and off of exacerbating my knee injury, putting on stress on the knee. I didn't see a physiotherapist at the time, nor did a physiotherapist cross my mind. And now I'm basically in physical rehabilitation for my left knee from the injury 3.5 years ago. And that was something I didn't expect or see at the start of this year. I knew I had knee pain, but I didn't know that I was going to go see a physio and I was going to go through rehabilitation with a professional for my physical injury. I'm trying to figure out how that links to the water slide. That somehow prompted, that thought somehow came out of me going down a really dark water slide. An analogy to going down the water slide is like with time. When I injured myself, I couldn't press pause on time. I couldn't reverse time to go back that 2 minutes so I don't make that mistake of going too fast on the ice on the first time I ice skate and then accidentally falling down. Also trying to go really fast when I've already been skating for like 2 hours and I'm exhausted. I can't pause time and go back. I can, hypothetically change the time on my watch, but that does not change the actual reality of time at that, the actual second, minute, hour, day, month, and year of the time. And that's unless time travel happens, that's not possible. And life just kept going. Life in terms of time, it just kept going. It does not care if I'm injured. It does not care about emotions. It just keeps moving. Time just keeps moving. It just keeps going and going and going. The tick, 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 tick of the clocks don't stop. It just keeps going forward. And if I were to deny time and being like, this isn't real, this didn't happen, time would just keep going forward. I'll still get 1 day older the next day. I'll still age. Things just still move and go on even if I don't necessarily like it. And it's sort of analogous to those water slide because when I was going down, I like the water slide. And I'm not saying I don't like it, but in a hypothetical situation where I don't like the water slide, and I don't remember if I said this in the previous clip, but if I have, I'm sorry. Hypothetically, if I didn't like the water slide, the flow of it will still keep going. I can't stop right then and there at the point at the water slide which I don't like and I wanted to stop. It would just keep going down. I want magically light to come out of somewhere during that 30-second slide down. That doesn't happen because it's completely sealed and you can't really see. I couldn't see where I was going. That's actually something I can talk about. I couldn't actually see where I was going. I only felt the water and I felt myself sliding downhill. I couldn't actually see where it's going. I couldn't see the curves. I couldn't see my own legs or limbs. I could not see anything. I was just following the water slide down. Perfect analogy. It's like going down the water slide in the darkness, not being able to see corners, not being able to see where I'm going, can also be analogous to life because I can't foresee the future. I can't foresee the future. I have plans for tomorrow, right? But I don't know what exactly is going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what curveballs life is going to throw at me. I don't know. Yeah. I can't foresee the future. I can't predict what's going to happen 100% of the time, what's going to happen the next day. Like I said, we can make plans and we can follow up on those plans, but we can't plan for every single thing that's going to happen to us the next day or the next hour or the next 15 minutes of our life. We don't know what's going to happen. And we're just sort of navigating it and sort of, to an extent, have to trust the process and the universe because I don't have control of every aspect of my life. I just don't know what's going to happen. And it's sort of like going down the pitch dark water slide. I can't see the corners. I don't know what's going to happen. Besides, I end up at the bottom at some point, but I can't see corners. I can't see anything. It's just like I can't see into the future of my life. I'm not saying I hope y'all don't misinterpret this and think like Left saying don't work hard for the future and for goals and whatnot. That's not what I'm saying. Saying we can't predict every aspect of our lives. Like I did not predict that I would be in an accident that fucks up my knee. And to this day, like I did not foresee getting into an accident that messes up my knee. When I had my motorbike fall, I didn't foresee getting into a motorbike fall. I'm okay with that. By the way, I just toppled over because I leaned too much going at a slow pace. I didn't foresee that happening. I didn't foresee at the time my ex breaking up with me suddenly on that day. I did not foresee that. That was a curveball thrown at me. I didn't foresee that. I didn't foresee workplace trauma that I experienced last year, trans-related work trauma. I didn't foresee experiencing that. So this is what I mean. It's like we can't foresee this stuff, and sometimes things just happen, and we don't have control over it. And time just keeps going. Unfortunately, it doesn't stop. Time just keeps going, regardless of what happens in life. It just keeps going and going and going. Essentially, to a degree, we're navigating life in darkness because we can't foresee everything and we can't plan for everything and we don't necessarily know what's going to happen to us. So we're just navigating life in the darkness to a degree, and it can be a little uncomfortable. It can be a little unsettling knowing that we don't have control over all like 100% of our life, because we don't have control over 100% of our life. It can be unsettling, but I think it's something that we have to like accept as a part of life and just living life. Unexpected curveballs, having to deal with unexpected things that come up that we have absolutely not planned for sometimes. Much like going down a dark water slide and accepting, hey, I'm in a dark water slide and I'm just following with it. Sort of related is when I was experiencing really bad social anxiety, I tried to plan for every single thing that would happen in social situations. Like I tried to basically build 5 million trees of all the 5 million trees with 10 million branches about every single possible pathway of sequence, try to plan for every single possible pathway regarding sequence of events that could occur, and try to plan ahead solutions for every single one of these possible scenario pathways, every single combination of it, and that's what anxiety did to me. Is it tried to plan for every single pathway, every single combination of pathways of events that could occur, and plan ahead for it. Because I was really anxious that once it got to that point and things happen and I didn't plan for it, I didn't prepare for it in advance, I'll be like, fuck, I'm screwed now, like, because I don't know what to do, I don't know what to say, etc. And it was very stressful, and it was just constant rumination of that. The what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? But once I broke out the anxiety cycle, I stopped doing it to that degree. Sometimes I do wonder what if this happens, but it's not debilitating and it doesn't hinder my life through constant rumination and trying to plan for every single puzzle pathway. And it sort of links into what I said in the previous segment with just having to accept that this is a part of life and we can't plan for every single thing. But the good news is humans are very good at adaptation. That's how we evolved to this point, through adaptation to environment, adaptation to circumstances, adaptation to life, and the changes that life can bring over time. Could be completely new things, could be different variants of existing things, it could be an old issue or challenge or barrier that comes up. But either way, we're just constantly adapting. That's the game of life, is that we have to constantly adapt because of all these uncertainties, all of these curveballs, all of the unknowns. We just constantly have to adapt. And I think that's part of growth. Last point of this video is adaptation is a part of growth, because we might start off not having the resources, the knowledge, the tools to solve a certain issue, or help get us through a certain issue. And then with building knowledge, learning, trying new things, trial and error, getting knowledge from the trial and error, or seeking support from other people who may have been through that experience or dealt with the same problem or similar problem, or just it's essentially gathering information about ourselves, the situation, and what can be done, what can be used to help resolve the issue, or mitigate the issue, or see it from a different angle, or just help work through the issue, the concern, the barrier, the challenge. That's what adaptation is to me, is learning and applying that knowledge to life, different situations. And if one thing doesn't work, or that one approach doesn't work for that one particular challenge or barrier, then trying a different approach, but keeping that in mind that it might work for something else that comes up. It's like a giant toolbox, and we have a bunch of different tools and equipment, essentially, in analogy, different equipment to use when certain situations arise. And we get that through learning, and that's what leads to adaptation, which then leads to growth, because we learn how to deal with challenges, we learn how to deal with unfamiliar situations, we learn how to deal with this thing that we may be formerly very scared of or avoidant of. And that's adaptation, is learning to not only manage the challenge and rise to the challenge, but thrive from the challenge. That's adaptation. Learning, rising up to the challenge, and then thriving from the challenge. And in turn, that is growth and adaptation. That's all for this video, folks. My initially very spontaneous, I don't know what I'm going to say video turned out to have a little bit of structure by the midway or the end point of the video. So I'm really happy it turned out that way. Thank you for watching, folks. If you have any video ideas of what you'd like me to talk about, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support, and I will see you in the next video. And remember, you can use your anti-hero traits to grow and learn and adapt.